Hi guys, I'm back again today with another quote. This one is knowledge is power. I love that quote because really for me, growing up, I did not have very much knowledge. There was a lot of ignorance in my life, a lot of stuff that I didn't know about, which made me afraid. And so I want to talk about knowledge being power today because the more we know, the less that we have to have fear or anxious thoughts. Let's talk about words. Vocabulary is a funny thing. There are different groups and different, I'm going to stick with religion since that's one of my passions, is the world of religion. And in religion, there's a lot of buzzwords that go around, and sometimes we can be afraid of somebody else's buzzword that say is in their religion. And when we learn more about other people, learn more about other religions, learn more about just humanity in general, those buzzwords become not scary anymore. So today I want to talk about a buzzword that's going around, and it's called deconstruction. If you've been around the world of people who are asking lots of questions, you may have heard that word deconstruction. If not, it's a buzzword. It's a buzzword that's going around for all of those who have very, like me, inquisitive minds and who have felt like there's a lot of things that just don't make sense anymore. So I will tell you, this isn't something that just happened to me recently. It's actually something that I have had in me since I was a little girl. Like I remember being 5 or 6 years old and hearing stories in the Bible, stories in my place of worship, whatever, religion, church, whatever word, buzzword that you want to use, whatever word makes you feel most comfortable. I heard a lot of stories that did not make sense to my little mind. I was 5 or 6 years old, and I wanted someone that I could talk to, someone that I could ask questions of, somebody that would give me a answer that made sense to my brain. However, since I didn't have that, I didn't have anyone I felt safe to talk to, anyone I felt safe to ask questions of, I lived with a lot of turmoil, pain in my life internally. I did not understand who God was. I heard very mixed messages of who He was growing up. To me, He was supposed to really love me, but then I heard all these stories about He was sorry He ever made humanity. There were so many people in the Old Testament that He got angry at and killed because they weren't perfect or they did something wrong. So I was very confused about all of that. And so people who have inquisitive brains like that weren't always very accepted in groups of people. I have a friend who even when she was 6, 7 years old asked questions like that, like, God wants to burn my mother, God wants to drown me, and she actually got kicked out of Sunday school, which is a super funny story. But so now, since we have so much information available to us on the internet, you can look anything up, you can get other people's perspectives. There's a lot of us now who have very inquisitive brains who want to have better answers than we've been given. And so for me and for lots of others, this process of trying to find answers that work for us, trying to find answers that make sense, is called deconstruction. So I want you not to be afraid of that word when you start to dive into your journey of becoming free and whole and getting outside of religion and just doctrines that people say you have to believe for such and such. I don't want you to be afraid of deconstruction. Deconstruction is where you are looking at those set of belief systems, those things that you were taught growing up that were kind of set in stone in your personhood because you were told by people you trusted that this is the way it is. And so deconstruction actually means looking at each one of those things that doesn't quite sit right with you and going, hey, let me take a look at that. Let me ask questions about that. Let me figure out how to either dismantle that and get rid of that and replace it with something that does make sense. It's that whole process. I don't want you to be afraid of that process. That process is difficult, scary, and a little crazy, but it's a beautiful process, and it ends in freedom and wholeness and amazingness. But I wanted to just throw that word out there to you because it is a buzzword that's going around, and many people are freaked out by it right now. And many people think all of those people who are deconstructing are wrong or going off the deep end or whatever word someone wants to put on you to bring fear. Listen to me. God's not afraid of your questions. God's not afraid of the brain that He gave you that wants you to be able to figure out what life looks like and how to make things sit right with you so that you can live in peace and joy. God's not afraid. He loves you. He loves your brain, and He is not worried in one bit. So rest in peace knowing that you can ask questions. You can dive into things. You can try to figure out what it looks like for you. Everybody's journey is going to look different. Everybody's perspective is going to be different because we are all different. Hey, I love you guys. I want you to join with me on this journey. Don't be afraid of it. Jump in. Let's do this. Thanks. Talk to you later. Bye.